Hey, Jayhawks fans, welcome back into the Hawks Nest. I'm your host, Nolan Brooks, and we are presented by KC Sports Company. We have a special show for you today. Make sure you go check out last week's episode. We talked about the recent draftees from KU and Grady Dick and Jalen Wilson. Grady, of course, going 13th overall to the Toronto Raptors, and Jalen Wilson going 51st overall to the Brooklyn Nets. Make sure to go check that out. Give it a like and subscribe. Go check out all of our other content at KC Sports Company. Check out all of our Chiefs shows and our Royals stuff. And just keep up to date and make sure to like and subscribe and comment. Now, let's get to this week. We're going back to KU football. Lots of big news coming out of Lawrence. Maybe not for 2023's sake, but for 2024. Looking ahead a couple years in the future, I guess one full year in the future. The 2024 recruiting class for Lance Leopold and the KU Jayhawks is looking absolutely stellar. Looking like one of the best, if not the best, recruiting classes of all time for the Jayhawks. We've kind of harped about how this program has been building, putting the building blocks together to try to make something special. And that first building block obviously has to be Jalen Daniels, and then it kind of goes on from there down the list as far as things that are going to make this team successful. And then, of course, Lance Leopold being at the helm, I think, is a large portion of the building blocks moving forward for this KU football program. But as far as the 2024 recruiting class, now I will say none of these guys are written, like they have not signed a national letter of intent, a national commitment letter. That has not happened. They have verbally committed to KU for 2024. So what does that mean? There's still an entire calendar year of high school that these guys have to play. They got to play out their senior year of high school, which unless somehow they reclassify, which I don't know. I don't think any of them are going to be able to do that. It's a little late in the game now for that. But these guys are going to have to play out their senior year. KU is going to have to play out their 2023 season without these guys. And then if they all sign their national letter of intent or their commitment letter to KU by, I believe it's around the March time frame of 2024, March of 2024, if they get to that point and they sign it, then they will be KU Jayhawks in 2024 unless they decommit and enter reclassify or they go to commit to another school, something crazy like that. So as of right now, just a lot of verbal commitments. But if you haven't given a look at this recruiting class, oh my goodness, easily one of the most talented recruiting classes that KU has seen in a long time. I think 2010 was the last time that a KU recruiting class was this good and had this much talent to kind of go around. So if you go down the list here, their most recent one was 4-star edge rusher Dak Brinkley. Dak is coming from a little town in Texas, I believe. If we go look here, he's from Katy High School, and that is down in Texas. So another big Texas recruit that KU is stealing away from possibly a commitment to the Longhorns, maybe. But Dak Brinkley, 4-star edge rusher to go on either side for Lance Leopold and this defense, hopefully in 2024. Then you keep going down the list, and we're going to go back to Dak Brinkley here in a little bit, so don't worry about that. But next up, 4-star cornerback Austin Alexander. Again, it's been a while since KU's had this many 4-star recruits show up for KU and commit to KU. And so this has got to be a very, very exciting time for Lance Leopold and his coaching staff. Alexander, of course, out of Marion Catholic High School in Chicago Heights, Illinois. So a four-star cornerback that could possibly have a huge, huge role on this team moving forward if he ends up staying. Keep on moving down the list. Damani Maxon, four-star safety, another solid defensive pickup for the Jayhawks. So far, if you can't tell, defensive heavy on the recruiting class here at a Clear Lake High School. Damani Maxon is coming from. Wow. Houston, Texas product again. Two Texas guys that could have been Longhorns and gone and played in the SEC. Lance Leopold has managed to take them away and bring them into committing to Lawrence. So Damani Maxon, four-star safety there. And then Jalen Todd, three-star cornerback. Very well could be a four-star by the end of his senior year. Man, the list keeps going here. Harry Stewart, three-star running back. Deshaun Warner, three-star edge rusher. That's another kid that could have a very large role in this defense in 2024. And then Red Martell, another three-star running back. Isaiah Marshall, three-star quarterback. KU preparing for the future, possibly. Jalen Daniels, if he has another year like last year and he stays healthy, he might be gone to the NFL. Preparing for the future there. Andre Gibson, three-star cornerback. Carson Brune, I hope I say these names right, three-star tight end. KU adding to the offense now. Harrison Utley, three-star interior offensive lineman. So a very versatile lineman that could move around and have multiple roles there. Congrats to Harrison Utley. Ja'Cory Stewart, three-star linebacker. A big, big need for KU was at linebacker. We talked about that in an earlier episode. Jonathan Kamara, three-star linebacker. Another one. Carter Lavruski, three-star interior lineman, offensive lineman. Keen Anine, interior offensive lineman. So I believe a few episodes ago we talked about what KU football needs most. Number one was linebackers. Number two was linemen because they lost the most key pieces to their team that left in the transfer portal were interior offensive linemen and linebackers. And now you get one of the best recruiting classes of really all time for KU, and most of them are linebackers and linemen. What more can you ask for? It looks like this coaching staff is doing their job. So that is it there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 recruits for the 2024 recruiting class for the Kansas Jayhawks football program. I don't know about you, but that gets me excited for football in Lawrence. They're taking a leap. They're finally getting some recognition from some of these high school athletes like, hey, we're a serious program. What Lance Leopold is doing here, what this team is putting together is serious. Come play for us. If they commit, if all 15 of those guys commit, man, I'd be more excited for the freshman class than I would for some of the returning seniors or juniors, whoever that may be after this year. Could you imagine if Jalen Daniels came back for a senior year? Came back for a senior year with this recruiting? Oh my goodness. This would be one of the best KU teams ever put together. Not just a recruiting class, but just team overall. If Jalen Daniels came back, oh my Lord almighty. That would be so amazing. So amazing. So this roster could be loaded. But could is the key word there. These guys, again, they're all 2024 verbal commits as of right now. They have not signed their letters yet. They have not had National Signing Day yet. They have to finish out their high school season. They have to play their senior seasons. They are not in Lawrence yet. But if they do, 15 loaded, talented players could be making their way to Lawrence to play for Lance Leopold and this coaching staff. Wow. What to expect here? I mean, expect a lot of eyes to be on these kids to make sure that they stay committed, especially guys like Dak Brinkley and Austin Alexander and Damani Max and some of these 4-star recruits that KU managed to steal away from some of these better schools. Is really what I would keep my eye on there. Because those kids could flip their commitment as soon as some of these other schools get to watch them in their senior year. Say they improve and they become 5 stars, they might get offered something at a higher, maybe I don't want to say higher level, but an SEC team might come looking again, or Pac-12. It's something another Power 5 team could come looking, come sniffing around, and say, "Hey, we noticed you went from a 4 to a 5-star. Instead of going and playing in Lawrence, why don't you come play here? We're Alabama, Georgia, something like that. Hey, we've been competing for national titles recently." So that's what I would keep my eye on. You want to make sure that these kids stick around, that they actually fully commit to KU. So as far as where this class ranks, so again, 247 Sports, it's a great place that does a lot of the rankings for some of these recruits. They started tracking team ranking data in 2010 and player data in 2002. And since then, this is the most 4-star commits for KU. They have 3 so far. Highest average commitment rating of 86.96. Highest average commitment rating. Highest rated prospects with an 86 rating or above. 73% of their recruits in this class are an 86 or above. That is phenomenal. And then their highest rated high school player, if Dak Brinkley fully pans out, Dak Brinkley would be the highest rated high school recruit that KU has ever gotten. And then most points accumulated, 185.9. So that is points accumulated for their rating across all these guys. Man, this could be special. Could be. I hate to sound unoptimistic here, but that's a lot of good talent. And you just don't want to lose them. And we're a long way until National Signing Day. And there's a lot of work to do for KU to keep that class together. If KU does not have a good season, and they then it might hurt them. They did a very good job of capitalizing off of selling out games last year and having a good kind of productive season, even at 6-7, to the point that KU has kind of is a little bit on the map for recruiting now. There's not much more you can ask for there. You just got to hold the faith and have these kids pan out the way that we hope, and have the recruiting class stick together so that we can see them in a Jayhawk uniform in 2024. So, what can we expect out of some of these higher ranked guys? We'll go in the second half of the show when we get back from the break here. We're going to talk about these 4-star athletes. What they bring to the table for KU should they stick around, and should they choose to fully sign with KU, what they could bring to this program in 2024 if they're around. So stick around and come on back right after this break to the Hawks Nest, presented by KC Sports Company.
What up, KC? On the heels of yet another Kansas City Super Bowl victory, we have an awesome opportunity for you to broadcast your business to the local Kansas City market. We've created something called Kansas City Sports Company, which is a sports media hub for multiple live shows, all of which cover all the local Kansas City teams. Now, we have 30-second ad spots, 60-second ad spots, we have event sponsorships, studio sponsorships, show sponsorships, and much, much more. This is a great opportunity for you to start early with us and broadcast your business to a very dedicated, very enthusiastic Kansas City audience. Contact me or hit the contact us link on our website to learn more about this opportunity.
Hey, Jayhawks fans, and welcome back into the Hawks Nest. I'm your host, Nolan Brooks, presented by KC Sports Company. In the first half of the show, we talked about this 2024 recruiting class for KU. They're verbally committed so far, 15 recruits, 3 4-star recruits so far, the most ever for KU in the modern internet era, really. And so far, they're just verbally committed, no national letters signed yet. That will not happen for a while. Not until the end of the season, way after the season is over. Well, about 3 or 4 months into 2024, actually. So hold your breath on that. But, however, if it does happen, if they can get all of them there and they fully are in Lawrence, this is going to be, I'm going to dub it now, the greatest recruiting class in KU history. Yeah, it really will be. You don't have this much talent commit to your program if you're not planning on being pretty good. And after 2023, Texas and Oklahoma will fully be moved into the SEC, and it's going to open up a door a little bit for some of these other Big 12 schools. Obviously, we had the additions of Houston, UCF, BYU, and there's one more that I'm forgetting, and I feel horrible that I'm forgetting that. But point is, KU is adding 4 more teams to the mix here for 2023 and beyond. And so Cincinnati, okay, UCF, BYU, Houston, and Cincinnati. So I feel like as far as football goes, it's going to open up a window. Cincinnati had a good team a few years ago. They're in the college football playoff. UCF has always kind of been around. BYU was good when when they had that good team a couple years ago where I think they were top 10 in the country. When I believe Zach Wilson, yeah, when Zach Wilson was there. So a very good potential for some of these other teams to be good in the Big 12. But again, all of this is not until 2024. So just kind of hold your breath there on that. And we'll kind of see what happens. For now, KU's just got to perform in 2023 to keep those guys around. So speaking of those recruits, the 3 4-star recruits, I shall say, they have a chance to be some of the best recruits to ever come through Lawrence, especially some of the best recruits that Lance Leopold has gotten to Lawrence, if it happens. Let's start out with the obvious one, Dak Brinkley, highest rated high school recruit for KU ever if he sticks to it. A composite rating of 91, so just below a 5-star recruit, just below. 2024 class, obviously out of Katy, Texas, and Katy High School. Nationally, he's ranked 258th, so he's kind of, a little bit under the radar as a 4-star. But he's the number 21 edge rusher. And then in the state of Texas, he's the 47th ranked. Recruit, 6'3", 220 pounds. Watching some of the highlights, the dude's got some good speed. Great hands off the edge and a lot of power to kind of get the lineman out of the way, to be able to make big key tackles, get a sack when you need it. He has a chance to be one of the best edge rushers that KU could bring in and really mold into a legit talent. And I think that's what's got Leopold and them so excited about Dak Brinkley, and I think that's why he committed to KU. I think he sees a vision that they could turn him into a legitimate prospect down the road. So Dak Brinkley, got to be the number one guy. I think for KU, if they can bring him in, will immediately have an impact at edge rusher. No doubt about it. Next up, Austin Alexander, 6'1" cornerback out of Chicago Heights, Illinois, Marian Catholic High School. 89 score, nationally ranked 411th, number 10 in Illinois, and he's the number 35 cornerback overall. I would say I would put Austin as a little bit more likely to fully stick around with KU. Yes, he is a 4-star. Um, um, but there's a lot of cornerbacks leaving after that could be leaving this year for KU after 2023, and Alexander could step into a pretty big role rather quickly. Just like Brinkley, Alexander could start very, very soon into his freshman year. It just kind of depends how it would pan out, if it pans out um, at all. So I would be excited for Austin Alexander, depending on who leaves in the secondary for KU and who leaves out of that cornerback room right now. So predictions right now. Have him sticking around for KU. I could agree with that. Um, we'll see though. We'll see though. Next up, our last 4-star recruit so far. Not done yet. Could have more. Damani Maxon, 6 foot, 180-pound safety out of Houston, Texas, Clear Lake High School. 88 score rating. He's a 3-star he's a 3-star according to this, but then they upgraded it the other day. And he's now a 4-star. So he was just below a 4-star, and now he has been upgraded to a 4. Or he was a 3, upgraded to a 4. Sorry, can't talk. Nationally ranked at 423, 40th safety overall, and 71st in the state of Texas. So Damani, again, I think he's kind of in the same boat as Austin Alexander with the pieces at KU that could be leaving after 2023. Both Austin and Damani could step into big roles for KU in 2024 should they stick around. And so I hate to get super duper excited about a recruiting class that is only verbally committed. And yeah, I mean, get ecstatic that 4-stars are actually putting KU into their basket of schools that they want to go visit and schools that they want to look at. But at the same time, it's like, wow, what if we don't want to lose them if they have outstanding senior seasons in high school. We don't want to lose them, and then all that time spent trying to get these guys into KU for visits and stuff just kind of goes away. But these 3 players right here could be special for KU, and I think a lot of people really need to kind of buy in to that narrative that these 3 alone make this a good recruiting class. And then the fact that there are 12 other recruits behind them that now put KU, I think I saw like 36th nationally for that 2024 recruiting class. That puts them kind of in the upper echelon of recruiting classes so far for the Big 12 for 2024. And of course, that does not include Oklahoma and Texas because they will technically be in the SEC. So, I hate to sound like a broken record here, but get excited, but reserve it a little bit just in case something happens to where these kids decommit from KU. I don't think it'll happen. I think they took the visit to Lawrence seriously, and Leopold gave them a vision board for how well they could work and how well they could gel with this program, and just the roles that they could have in 2024 and beyond could be immense. They really could. I would be excited for these kids to commit to KU, and you should too. You should too. This is an exciting time to be a Jayhawk fan. One of the best off-season recruiting sessions for KU basketball, and now one of the best off-season recruiting sessions for 2024 for KU football. This is exciting. It's starting to feel like people are taking KU football seriously, just like they take KU basketball seriously. Now, don't get it twisted here. KU basketball is still on their own tax bracket with how much success they've had, but KU football starting to kind of make a climb here and be a legitimate team for kids to want to go play for, and a program that could eventually make some noise in the Big 12 if they can put it together. Simple as that. It's exciting time. Exciting time to be a Jayhawk fan. Exciting time to play for the Jayhawks. A lot of stuff is in store over the next, I would say, let's go full calendar year for KU football and basketball. A lot of stuff in store. Get excited, folks. It's going to be fun. Keep it locked in right here on the Hawk's Nest. Like, subscribe, comment if you agree with me, comment if you disagree. Either way, it's all good. It's all good constructive comments, constructive criticism, whatever you want to call it. Like, comment, subscribe. Go check out all of our stuff. Go check out our merchandise. All of that. All good stuff for us here at KC Sports Company and here on the Hawk's Nest. I'm your host, Nolan Brooks. So happy to be back on here with you guys. Looking forward to next week. Make sure to stick around, and we'll see you next time.